If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you are struggling with farming Epic Catfruit and you desperately need really important true homes like Can, Pizza, or Cyberpunk, or maybe an Uber that you really like. But whatever. If that's the case, you're in the perfect place because today I am going to give you guys the ultimate Epic Catfruit farming guide for beginners. And to set you a limit for what I consider beginners, I consider it around mid SOL. So that means that in this video I will not be talking about growing epic, okay, because I consider that already as mid-game, advanced mid-game, you see what I mean? But now let me explain how this video will work. I will be talking about the 7 different ways to get Epic Catfruit in early game. I will be giving you the exact percentages to get Epic Catfruit on these ways, the exact strategies if they require to beat a stage, and then I will be ranking them all from the worst one, which you should never ever rely on to get Epic Catfruit, and then the best one that you should absolutely use to farm Epic Catfruit. Now, without more explanation, let's get into it. So, the first of the 7 ways to get Epic Catfruit in early game that I choose as the last place of this ranking, so basically the worst way possible to farm Epic Catfruit in this game, I choose seed crafting. So what is seed crafting? I think you all know that when you go to your storage in the Catfruit part, where you can click on your seeds, and if you have 5 or more seeds of the same color, then you can decide to craft them together. So if you have 5 seeds, then you craft them all together and you get 1 Catfruit. This is not the best way to get Catfruit, and it is only useful with Catfruits such as Aku Catfruit or Elder Catfruit, because you get way more seeds and you can almost never get the actual big fruit. But with normal Catfruit, you have that possibility and it happens really often, so in general you already never use this feature. And why do I talk about Epic Catfruit here? Because when you do this crafting, you have a small 5% chance that it doesn't give you the Catfruit you want, but it gives you Epic Catfruit. This is good, but the problem is, it is way too rare. It already happens with an action that you almost never use, and it is not at all reliable because it only has 5% chance and you lose all your seeds doing this, and seeds are not unusable. It's precisely, I will be talking more about this in this video, but normally you want to keep your seeds to evolve rare cats, and you want to keep your bigger Catfruits and Epic Catfruits to evolve super rares and uber rares. So in general this feature is almost unusable. You should just never even craft seeds, okay? So this is why I choose this as my last place. As the second worst way of getting Epic Catfruit in this game, I chose the Cat Shrine. So what is the Cat Shrine? The Cat Shrine is a shrine that appears next to your Gamatoto expedition at random moments. So you will see it is not the only random thing about getting Epic Catfruit, but this is extremely random because you have absolutely no idea when it appears, and it doesn't appear really often, and when it appears it's only for 1 day, so it is already not really reliable. But are the chances of getting Epic Catfruit actually high? No. They're awful. The way the Cat Shrine works is that you can give him a certain amount of XP and he gives you a certain amount of things. So basically if you give him 100,000 XP, well, he will give you random items, like for example bricks or gold. You see? The things that you need to make your cat cannon better. But in general this is completely unusable because you get them by playing SOL. If you dump in 1,000,000 XP, so keep in mind that 1,000,000 XP is already quite a lot, then you have 16% to get a Catfruit seed, 3.2% of getting a normal Catfruit, and 3% of getting an Epic Catfruit. So 3% of getting an Epic Catfruit is insanely small. Counting in fact that you have to spend 1,000,000 XP every time, you see how bad this way is. Why is it better than the last place? Simply because you use this way sometimes. Believe it or not. Why? Because it is the best way to farm not Epic Catfruit, but gold Catfruit. Gold Catfruit has a 1% chance of appearing in this cat shrine every time you dump in 1,000,000 XP, and I know 1% is not a lot, but every 30 rolls at the cat shrine 1,000,000 XP, you are obligated to get a gold catfruit. So basically, even if it's 1%, so 1 in 100 chances, the real chances are 1 in a 30 times. So you see, this is for many players with Heavenly Tower, the best way to farm gold catfruit that is extremely precious and really hard to get. And if you are rolling for gold catfruit, you may get epic catfruit, so you see this is still horrible, but it is not utterly useless, because you can sometime get it with RNG, you see? Let's go to next. As a third worst way of getting epic catfruit in this game, I decided to choose catfruit capsules. So if you don't know what catfruit capsules are basically capsules that appear next to the normal capsules that you get 1 ticket for free every day, you know, randomly. Basically, you don't know when it happens, it just happens randomly, and you have to be there at the right moment to roll on them. And when you roll on it, basically every ticket has about 50 to 60% to get you a seed. Why I say approximately, it's because there is no real percentage announced by Ponos, but it is what players calculated. So this is what I'm giving to you guys. About 50 to 60% of getting a seed, about 35 to 45% of getting or a big catfruit or items or XP, and a very small chance of 1 to 3% of getting epic catfruit. So you can see that this is really not good, because a max percentage of 3% of getting epic catfruits is really not bad. But why is this better than seed crafting? Already because this is actually a gacha that you may roll normally, because it is still a quite usable way to get more catfruit. You see, it is not the principal way to get catfruit, but it's more of a bonus way, you see. And if you roll on it and you sometimes get epic catfruit, you can be happy. It is still a really bad way of getting epic catfruit, especially also counting in fact that you can get items and XP that are in general completely utterly unusable. I mean, XP is usable, right? But you only have 1 to 3% chance of getting actually 1,000,000 XP, and when you get under 1,000,000 XP, like, what's the point, you see? So in general, I would consider Catfruit Capsule as an awful way to get epic catfruit, and trust me, I already have farmed 100 cat tickets to spend only on this, and guess how many epic catfruit I got? 2. So you can see that this is not really reliable, so just don't. Let's go to the next one. So I would say this is the turning point where these ways of getting epic catfruit become actually pretty usable, because the ones before were absolutely awful, but now we're in the top 4 and we're starting to get actually the usable ways. In 4th place, I decided to choose advanced Cyclones. So Cyclone stages, as you know, are stages that appear 1 day per week, and if you beat them, you have a chance of getting a Cyclone cat. And I made a Cyclone cat ranking video, so if you didn't watch it, then go watch it, because Cyclone cats are extremely useful anti-metals, and you may need anti-metals. So if you need them, go watch the video. Anyways, let's talk about epic catfruit. So advanced Cyclone stages now are stages that only appear 2 times per month, and there are 3 of them. The first one being Day of Judgment, the second one being Bad to Worse, and the last one being Techneurosis. So what is the difference between these stages? Day of Judgment starts with White Cyclone, so these stages are slightly harder than the normal Cyclone, but not by a lot, because they are still insane difficulty, so it's okay, they're not deadly. And then when you beat it, you get nothing, but you get a continuation stage, 100% chance of getting this continuation stage. That is Angel Cyclone, and if you clear Angel Cyclone, then you get 100% chance epic catfruit, and keep in mind that this is doable again and again and again. It's unlimited. Wow, this is incredible. You could farm it so much, right? Well, sadly there is one drawback. That drawback being that you can only complete the stage once per month. If you could complete the stage as many times as you wanted, you can just create a loadout and then do it boom, 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 and you could get infinite catfruit. It will be way too broken, but I think they nerfed it way too much, because the fact that you can only complete it once per month is basically, it makes the level unfarmable, you see. The fact that I said it is usable is still because it gives you 100% epic catfruit, and it is one of the only stations in the game where you actually have 100% chance of getting epic catfruit, but it is still not the best at all. And also, let me talk about these stages if you want strategies for it. So for Day of Judgment, basically you should get Sanzo. Sanzo completely destroys the white Cyclone stage, except for the brawler, so you need a Fishman or Swimmer Cat or whatever. When you clear the first old bros, then that's it. Basically you only have the normal Cyclone left, and you can just Sanzo him, you see. Or you can also use Necromancer. I would tell you to use Sanzo. Why? Because if you have talent in Sanzo, well, talent in Sanzo can also counter the second level. These stages are actually pretty annoying because you need a loadout that can beat the first stage and the second stage, because you have to beat the two with the same loadout. So Sanzo completely counters in general Cyclones, but this stage that features normal Cyclone and Angel Cyclone is completely outclassed by Sanzo Cat if you have his talents, and if you don't have them, then just get them, you know, because this talent is one of the best in the game. So let me talk about Back to Worst now. Back to Worst features Red Cyclone and Dark Cyclone. This is by far the easiest one. Why? Because for Red, you have so many counters, you see. I mean, I'm not going to give them all, but you know, Red, also the two are floating, so you can just Sanzo this level. But if you absolutely don't want to Sanzo this level, you can also Apple Cat the first level and Bomber Cat the second level. I mean, as you wish, but these two levels are extremely easy. They are the easiest Cyclones in general, and putting them two together is not a big deal. Finally, take Neurosis, that I think is the hardest one of the three, because it features Metal Cyclone and Cosmic Cyclone. This is a pretty mean combination, because Metal Cyclone is not a hard stage. If you have the Cyclone Cats, well, you can destroy him, but the problem is he needs units that are specifically needed against him and that are good against no other Cyclone. So you need at least one entire row that is dedicated to counter Metal Cyclone, and that means that you have not a lot of slots left to beat Cosmic Cyclone, and Cosmic Cyclone being one of the hardest Cyclones to beat because he's not floating. So you have to use units like Seafarer or Psycho Cat that don't have a lot of proc chance, but if you manage to stack them, you can destroy Cosmic Cyclone, but you have to. So you see the chances are quite limited, but if you manage to beat the stage, you know, you still have 100% chance of getting an Epic Catfruit, so it's worth it. And now I think we can go to the next one. Now, finally, we're getting into ways that really give you quite a lot of catfruit, and for the third place, I decided to choose user ranks. Why user ranks? Well, you know that user ranks give you a lot of rewards, normally about every 50 user rank, but sometimes it's different because you get one for 10,000 and 10,001, but that normally doesn't happen. So let's talk about user ranks reward for Epic Catfruit. You can get exactly 11 times Epic Catfruit in user ranks, and these are the ones where you can get them. At 1550, 2250, 3050, you get 1 Epic Catfruit. At 3750, 4300, you get 3 Epic Catfruit. 5700, 6500, 7500, 8500, and 9500, you get every time 5 Epic Catfruit. 5 Epic Catfruit is a lot. You can true form almost any uber rare in the game, except for some exceptions, like, you know, Kazuchimaru that needs 6 Epic Catfruit, but in general they need around 3 or 4 Epic Catfruit, so 5 Epic Catfruit is enormous. Of course, it is not easy to get these rewards, and you can only get them one time, but still the fact that they give so many Epic Catfruit makes them worth it. And I don't have much more to say about this, but just it is a good bonus to get more Epic Catfruit when you desperately need it. So for people that are like, oh please game, I need one Epic Catfruit to get Pizza Cat, and I will finally be able to beat, I don't know, Columbia of Into the Future Chapter 2, you know. I had that same situation, and well, you get it with user ranks that are basically free because you just have to power up your units, and that's it, you have it. Congratulations. Sadly, you cannot get more Epic Catfruits from this because after rank 9500, well, there is no Epic Catfruit anymore except you have Elder Catfruit, but that's not the point of this video. Anyway, let's go to the next one. As the second best way of farming Epic Catfruit, I chose Heavenly Tower. So Heavenly Tower, as you know, is an event that occurs at random times of the year, and it has exactly 50 levels that become progressively harder and harder, and you have exactly 3 bosses in Heavenly Tower that can give you really powerful units, especially the one that you get at floor 50 being Esoteric Uriel. That is currently one of, if not the best unit in the entire game. But I'm not going to give you a full guide about Heavenly Tower, because that's not the point of the video, but you should do research on it if you are interested, because there are a lot of things to know about Heavenly Tower. Anyways, let's talk about your Epic Catfruit. So, there are exactly 3 stages that drop Epic Catfruit in Heavenly Tower, being floor 29, 35, and 45. So, 29 and 35 drop 3 Epic Catfruit each, and 45 drops 5 Epic Catfruit. These stages are really difficult. The only one that's not that difficult is floor 29, but the other ones features really annoying enemies. Floor 45 features Baku and Queen Bee in the same stage, so you can see that that's a horrendous combination. Even I didn't beat these stages, so it's to show you how hard these stages are. But once you're enough advanced in the game to actually be able to beat these stages, well, simply you can farm them. Why? Because Heavenly Tower drops restart every time it appears. So basically, every time there's Heavenly Tower, you can redo these stages and get exactly 11 Catfruit, and you can do this again every time there's Heavenly Tower. And 11 Epic Catfruit is not to be forgotten. 11 Epic Catfruit is a lot. You see, you can choose from so many units with this. So this is why I chose Heavenly Tower as the second best way, but sincerely, none of these ways is as good as the first place, and let me talk about it right now. Before, Catfruit farming was quite a mess, because every day of the week you had a growing blue or growing purple or growing red, whatever, you had one day, one color. And that was pretty annoying because even in these stages, you did not have the highest drop rate of getting these Catfruit, and it was never 100% to even get a seed, you see. And the Epic Catfruit drop rate was maximum 20%. That is actually pretty high, but still, it's not high enough for stages that you could only do one day per week. But this year, they changed it to a thing named Growing Catfruit, and this completely changed the way of farming Catfruit. Farming Catfruit now is insanely easy, and it is almost free to any player that has actually decent units, and even Epic Catfruit now is quite easy to farm thanks to Growing Catfruit. Ladies and gentlemen, as the first place of this ranking, the best possible way to farm Epic Catfruit for beginners in early game, I chose Growing Catfruit. Let me talk about this. Growing Catfruit works like this. You have 5 stages, one for each color: red, purple, blue, green, and yellow. You see each stage featuring the signature type of enemy of these Catfruits. For example, for red Catfruit, you have red enemies, obviously. For blue Catfruit, you have alien enemies, obviously. For green Catfruit, you have floating enemies. For yellow Catfruit, you have angel enemies, and for purple Catfruit, you have dark enemies. So each of these stages are really easy, and sincerely, I think the wiki shows this enough, because if you go on the green Catfruit stage and you go on strategy, it simply says, well, if you have Fishman Cat, well, that's it, you win. And it is so true, because this stage is really completely soloable by Fishman Cat. It features only 3 enemies that are not even that buffed, and you can simply destroy them. And if I had to rank these stages from the easiest to the hardest, well, I would say that easiest is by far Red Catfruit, because simply it is a stage that drops a lot of money. It has a lot of enemies, but that are absolutely not buffed, so you can basically destroy this. Normally I solo this with Courier, but sincerely I can solo this with Kiss and Koi. That is one of the worst units in the entire game, so you can see how easy this stage is. The second easiest stage is I think Dark. Why? Because I mean Dark could look menacing at first, but if you have Pizza, this stage is free. Pizza completely utterly destroys so many dark enemies level. He's so utterly broken, and I talked about it in my true form video, so if you're thinking about what true form should you get with your Epic Catfruit, then go watch my video. It really supports the channel, thank you. Anyway, let's talk about this. As the third easiest level, well, I would say it's Alien. Why? Because simply aliens are completely power packed by Into the Future treasures, and even if this features a little bit of challenging alien enemies, sincerely, once you have the treasures, you can solo this with almost any unit you want. As the second hardest stage, but it is not hard at all, I choose the floating one. Why? Simply because it is long to do, because the face has quite a lot of HP, and he deals a little bit of quite a lot of damage, but you know, it's just a matter of time. It's easy, but it's just a matter of time, so it's annoying. And the hardest one I would say is Angel, because the Angel enemies are always really annoying, and in this stage they are not as easy to kill. You cannot even one-shot them with Can, but still, it is really easy to do once you have the good units, and I think you can solo it with Ramen once she's high enough in level, but that's not the point. But now let's talk about the drop rates. In every single of these stages, you have 57% of getting the Catfruit of their color, the Catfruit, the big one, not the seed, so this is enormous. 37% of getting 3 seeds, 3% of getting 3 Catfruit, and 3% chance of getting Epic Catfruit. So I know you're going to tell me, well, I mean, the percentage of getting Epic Catfruit is still low, right, Mazox? Well, yes, it is low, but it is not the only way to get Epic Catfruit from these stages. But I'll explain this later. Let me just talk a little bit about this and why this completely broke Catfruit farming. Well, first, you almost always get a Catfruit, and you can sometimes get 3 Catfruit, but normally you prefer the Epic Catfruit, but it can happen. So already getting Catfruit is extremely easy, and seeds are even easier to get. Why? Because you can get 3 seeds at once. That is enormous. That never happened before, but the fact that you can get 3 seeds, well, that's why I said, well, you should just keep your seeds to evolve rare cats and just never craft them, because you normally get more big fruits than seeds, and when you get seeds, well, you get them in pack of 3, but you want to use them for rare cats, because rare cats just almost don't use any big cat fruits, except for some that need like 1 or 2 or maximum 3, but in general they don't need a lot. So you see what I mean? But now let me talk about the continuation stage, because yes, there is one, and that is the one and only legendary stage, Catfruit Jubilee. Every time you clear one of these stages, you have 15% chance to get the continuation stage, being Catfruit Jubilee. Catfruit Jubilee is actually a pretty challenging stage for newbie players that get with it. Normally, you'll probably lose, because it is a quite nasty combination of enemies. It features Angelic Gory Dark, Doge Dark that's quite buffed, and especially out of all these enemies, Cory. Normally when you get there, you're not prepared to see a Cory, and Cory's waves are quite devastating if you have low level units. But if you have Octopus, well, you can completely utterly destroy Cory, and also if you have Can, then you destroy this stage. Can, in my opinion, is the counter to this stage. Why? Because it can kill these Corys almost in one shot, because they're not that buffed, and they give you double money if you have her talent. If you don't have it, get it right now. It's one of the best talents in the game. And also she can survive as 1 or 2 Cory waves, and she can KB him in 1 attack. So Can is extremely powerful in this stage. In general, it's one of the best units in the game. We know it, but she completely destroys the stage. And now what are the drop rates? Well, what is quite interesting about the stage is that it changes it changes during the day. Basically, when you play it during the day, you know, the drop rates when you complete the levels are 35% chance of getting an epic catfruit, 27% chance of getting a big catfruit, but the color of the stage that you completed before that gave you this continuation stage, and 38% chance of getting a seed. Now this is still not the highest, but it's still 35% chance of getting epic catfruit. That's really good, right? Well, just with this, it could be the first place of this ranking, but it's not all because it changes. At evening, the percentages change and also the background, so you can see which version you're playing with the background, and you have 50% chance of getting epic catfruit, 40.5 chance of getting normal catfruit, and 9.5% chance of getting a seed. So already, you will almost never get a seed from this, and you're happy now. The only risk is of getting a normal catfruit, but don't worry because there is a third version being night. And when you complete it at night, and I know you're going to tell me, so Mazix, you're telling me to play at night secretly from my parents? No, don't worry. Night starts at 9 o'clock, so normally you have time to play this level sometimes, and if you complete it at night, you have 70% chance of getting an epic catfruit. That is almost the highest you have in this game, except for stages that have 100%, but this stage is unlimited, you see. So 70% chance of getting epic catfruit, 25% chance of getting catfruit, that is the normal one, and 4% chance of getting the catfruit seed. This is by far the best way of farming epic catfruit, because this stage is doable quite a lot. It is always here, it is permanent, it does not appear at a random time of the year or of the week. No, it is here all the time, and that's the principal reason why it's so good, because it is here all the time. You can just wake up, do it, or go at lunchtime, finish it, or do it whenever you want, because it is permanent. It is almost one of the only permanent ways of getting epic catfruit, and obviously it had to be the first place. And I think I have talked enough about growing stages, but you can see how good are these stages to farm epic catfruit. They absolutely saved my life, because you know, once I was struggling with epic catfruit farming, but when this update dropped and they created these growing catfruit stages, well, I instantly got pizza, can, fishman, seafarer, and it bumped me up in this game, because super rare true forms are really important in this game, and then you can get a lot of really powerful uber rare true forms as you want, but epic catfruit is fundamental to progress in this game. Now, I think it is time to end this. I think it is time to finish this video. The whole point of this video was to help you get epic catfruit, so if it really helped you to get epic catfruit, then please leave a like and subscribe, because it really supports the channel. And without anything more to say, well, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.